Test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
You are gorgeous, girl.
Oh, thank you. I was actually just thinking the same thing about you. And
Oh
that,
my gosh, honey. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I am a fan. I am a big fan. He's a fan too, but I told him to tone it down a little bit. Tone it down a little bit.
what's your name?
My name is Willie Wachter the third.
Willie, it's nice to meet you. I'm Megan.
Miss Davis. Can I call you Megan?
You can call me Megan. I totally.
Okay.
All
Can I call you Willie?
Girl,
Yeah,
you was
you may
gorgeous.
call me Willie.
Okay.
You call
Okay,
me-
great.
So you can call me.
Hey, she can call you.
I can call you.
So first of all, we want to thank you so much for being on the show. You are tremendously an inspirational actress. We have read up so much about you. We have tremendous many questions, but we're going to narrow it down so we can
Thank you.
First of all, tell us how you got into your acting career.
Well, I always knew I wanted to act. I mean, I was that little kid who was cleaning the floors by hand, listening to Castle on a Cloud from Les Mis, which my mom was thrilled about. I think they told me once I couldn't go see Les Miserables because it was too long for such a young child. So I memorized all the words, and when they got home, I made them sit through the whole thing again with me playing all of the parts.
Nice.
And, I loved it. I would do magic shows. I would sing. I would play the piano, and I would charge them all 25 cents per person to come into the living room. And I always knew that's what I wanted to do. I started singing opera professionally first. That was really my first professional voyeur into performing, where I was like getting a paycheck and all excited because I was in the program. And, of course, did all of the school plays and whatnot. But I always knew I wanted to be in LA or New York. I knew I wanted to be doing this for a living. So I guess I never had a plan B. I never had a backup,
Awesome.
That's great that you said that too, because I'm an artist too as well. I play that jazz, things of that nature.
Awesome. love. You see jazz music?
Yes, jazz.
Oh
yes.
God, I love jazz music. It's actually my favorite genre.
All right, I play sax too.
Really?
Yes.
I listen to jazz all the time. I listen to Miles Davis, and I love jazz music.
Wow.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm gonna have to sing some stuff later. Okay.
I love that.
All right. But my question for you too was, okay, so you say you did opera. I mean, wow, that blew me away because, the training and the voice and everything to, get up there and do opera and the acting and everything else that goes with that. What is your range? Are you like a soprano or are you an alto or?
I used to be a little bit more of a mezzo-soprano, a little bit higher when I was younger. And then as I've gotten older, it's dropped lower and lower. So I would say now I'm more of an alto. I don't really sing opera professionally anymore. I mean, that's a whole separate thing. But I love jazz, like I said, and I sing all the time in that more of that genre, more blues, jazz, kind of pop jazz, Apple type, that kind of music.
Cool.
Well, let's get into your acting career. Awesome.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you have played in numerous of acting roles or whatever. So what is your biggest role that you have going on now?
Well, I just finished a Christmas movie, which was my first Christmas movie I've ever done. It was so fun because we shot in January, so I got to leave my Christmas tree up for an entire
Right,
3 months. I was so excited because it's my favorite time of the year. I think it's magical. Um, so I just finished that. That one was very cool. It was called A Christmas Family Reunion. It was done by Ninth House, which is Jake Helgren and Autumn Federici. And I love Jake. He wrote and directed it. It was a really cool movie about this family who has a reunion, and they have a planner, and I got to play the music producer of the female who's kind of the head of the family now. She's like the young up and coming singer, now the head of the family. But of course, the two matriarchs are the real head of the family, and they're kind of vying for holding the Christmas reunion at their house. So I don't want to say too much. I don't know if I already have, but that was the one I just finished. And I also over quarantine just finished a pilot. It was about the mafia family in Buffalo, New York. And that was really fun. That was with Daniel Baldwin and Michael Madsen and Sean Gloria and Nicholas Denman. It's actually based on his book, which was a best-selling, I think, Amazon book about the Buffalo Mafia. And that was really fun because I got to play an FBI agent who took them down.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, and I loved Buffalo, New York. I mean, I thought it was so fun. It was such a small, beautiful town. The people were incredible. We got to have dinner at this kind of old, like, Italian, Irish pub, and we got to eat dinner with people who had actually been in some of the families in New York, the mafia families. So that was really fun.
Awesome. Tell us about Two Broke Girls.
Yes.
So how did you started in that?
You know, I actually, that one was a funny one. I've never told this story, but I thought at the time I was SAG eligible, and because I had starred in a movie that was SAG and I wasn't, so I was like, oh, that makes you SAG. Well, they had just changed the rules, and because it was an ultra low SAG budget, I guess that doesn't give you SAG status. Mm-hmm. So when I auditioned for it, which was Julie Ashton, who I adore, she actually just won she won an award, the casting awards, and she was so fun. She was so cool. I remember I was rehearsing for a scene for class when I got the call for the audition. And I went in and I was like, yeah, I'm SAG eligible, but, you know, I'm happy to join, you know, should I get the role? So great. So I get the role. It was kind of a whirlwind because they had me come in the next day and they were like, we really like you. Michael Patrick King really likes you, but we want to see you read for this one. We don't know which role we want you to do. So that was comforting. And, and so I had to be at Warner Brothers the next morning at 8 a.m. Well, come to find out, apparently that does not make you SAG eligible, that role in the ultra low budget. So I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, did I just lie to these people, you know? And I go to SAG, and I don't know if you've ever been to SAG in LA, but you don't talk to anyone. They put you in a room with telephones. You call up to the floor above you. It's very impersonal and weird. Oh. It's really strange. So I call, I'm talking to this person. I'm like, I don't know what to do, you know, like, what do I do? And he was like, well, if you are a member of Equity, which is, you know, like the SAG of Broadway and stage, then, and you've been a member of Equity for a year, you can become SAG. So I'm like, okay, because I had done some professional plays, and so I had joined Equity. And so I rushed over to Equity, which is all the way across town. Of course, this is like 3. And I'm trying to talk to the guy. I'm like, they said I need a letter. And turned out that he was like a graduate from the same school I went to. So he was super sweet. And he was like, let me get you one. And miracle of miracles. And this is where, you know, when people say, do you believe in something greater? I'm like, absolutely. Right. The guy from SAG, who I was, you know, just talking to on the phone, I don't even know how he knew found me, finds me on Facebook, sends me a message, and he's like, hey, I'm going to help you out. If you can get me the number that Equity put on your letter, I will get you your SAG number, even though it will take some time to process. That's what you need to give to Warner Brothers. And if he hadn't done that, I don't know what would have happened. And I was so grateful, and it all worked out in this incredible way, which was obviously so beyond me. And it was so cool. And I showed up the next morning, like, I think still in shell shock that I even, was able to be there and was able, to have that happen. But the entire cast of that show is incredible, and it really is my favorite kind of film and screen work because it's live TV. So you get to rehearse and you get to go in every day and have these rehearsals just like theater. So, I mean, I love theater and I always love doing theater. So for me, it's like the best of both worlds because you get both. And I even wrote all of the cast members little like notes on filming day because I was like, it's like opening night, right? Like you should give gifts, And it was just such an incredible experience, such an amazing cast, and so grateful to even be there, much less get to be a part of the creative experience. And Michael Patrick King is just brilliant. I've always been a huge fan of his. I was a huge fan of Sex and the City.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Mess. And like you said, I mentioned you said a Two Broke Girl and like, Sex in the Cities and those, iconic shows, of course, that went on. My mother, every time I used to like go home and like go check up on her at nighttime, that's what she's watching is Two Broke Girls.
Really?
Really, yeah. That's what I'm like. And she got me into it. Okay, I said, Mom, what's this? I was just I popcorn up like, this is a good show.
Yeah.
And then I got wrapped up into it too as well. So now that you actually, you said you've been on Two Broke Girls, you've been on Bones, you've been on American Horror Story. What's like the next step for Megan Davis? What do Megan Davis actually wants to do next?
I think I enjoy everything that I get to do, and I feel like every role really finds the actor. So I feel blessed to, like I said, blessed to even be here, blessed to be here, and here. You know what I mean? But I would love to do, like a longer TV show, kind of get back into that cast. That what feels almost like a play, because I miss theater. I was fortunate enough that I was doing a live theater show for 2 years before the quarantine happened, and I didn't realize until really got into the isolation just how much I missed all of it. And so I would love that. I mean, I would love to do theater right now. I would love to do anything. I've been blessed to work during the current quarantine, but I've definitely missed connecting to human beings.
Yeah.
You mentioned Two Broke Girls. I watched so much comedy. All different kinds of comedy shows because it just, you needed that laugh. Like you needed that art to bring you up and to kind of reconnect you to why we're here and why we all do what we do. And I gotta say, I'm so grateful for all comedy shows that were made. This last year, I've watched all of them. So
who is your favorite comedian? Like, who did you find yourself mostly watching and laughing at and getting some of your comedy and energy from?
Well, I love Tiffany Haddish. Love. And I've been fortunate enough to meet her actually because she works with this charity called The Unusual Suspects, which is so cool. It takes art into different places, but what I thought was primarily the coolest, it takes it into detention centers, children that have gone that way in life and teaches them to kind of reharness that creative essence inside of them. Because, I was that kid, when I was younger, I went down a dark road for a while and had some addiction issues. And a lot of it was not knowing, how to be the best version of myself, where to place all those emotions, where to put all of that. Yeah. So I love that. So I love her. I don't know if Aubrey Plaza counts as a comedian because she doesn't do any stand-up, but, you know, I watch Parks and Rec, and I think she's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, she's different, and it's like so kooky and funny, and I think she's an incredible actress in general, but I loved that show over quarantine. Obviously, you know, all the classics, you know, Friends, Fresh Prince, all of those I rewatched because they all came on HBO Max. So I was like,
Yep.
you know, sitting there with my remote.
Right.
Whole days would go by. I would go through whole seasons because they're 30 minutes, you know, so you're just
watching,
Back to back. Oh, wow. So, Megan, so I know you got all these different hidden talents and stuff like that one. Was there any particular talent that you was able to gravitate to while you was on the quarantine that maybe you felt like, you know what, hey, I'm kind of good. I might have to start, you know, adding this one repertoire and doing this a little bit more.
I love that little shoulder, you know, shoulder pop you had going. I sang a lot during quarantine. I hadn't sang and played the piano as much recently because I have been so busy, and especially when you're doing theater, you know, you tend to want to save your voice a little bit when you're home. But, you know, having that piano here, having that ability to get some of that out, such a gift. I also started writing poetry more because I've always been big on poetry, and I've loved it. But I started writing a lot more just in general. Again, I think just getting that out. I think we all have all of this creative essence inside of us. We just have this desire to get it out. We have this desire to connect. And so this year has been so challenging, you know, because how do you connect? Where do you put that?
Yes. Well said. Well said. Yes. You're right. How we connect.
So I have like one more question that I want to ask you. So with all the success that you have been through and everything that you have done, how do you overcome the obstacles of doing your acting and doing other things? Like, I know we make it look easy, but it's definitely not. I mean, we have our hardships, like you said, you know, you later, I mean, in your life, you went down a dark road. How did you overcome those and still come up, you know, successful like you are? I mean, how do you overcome those?
Thank you. I think it's a lot of different things. I think for me, what I've discovered as an artist, but also just as a person, is you can't ever stop growing.
Yes.
And that's so prevalent in who you choose in your life, in what you choose in your life, in the things that you allow in your vibration, in your energy, you know, that's so important. Probably one of the things I wish I had known as a kid, how important that is, like what and who you allow in your life.
Exactly.
I think, you know, like I said, like I don't get super religious, but I'm very spiritual. I very much believe in a power greater than ourselves, even if that's just love, you know. No matter what you want to call it, I'm a huge believer in that, and that I would say is a big reason why. But I also just believe in love. I believe that every human being, their natural essence is love, and I think for me, that's why I think art's the best thing in the world, because there is nothing else that returns you to that natural essence as purely as art does. Yes. You know, we see it. That's when we see each other's humanity, I think, the most clearly. We forget all the other stuff, you know, because that's who we are, really, is that essence of love. So I try to read a lot. I try to learn from people who are much smarter than me and who have much more life experience than me and are much more connected than me. And I try to not talk as much as possible, which is hard for me because I get so excited to share with people. But I guess that's how I feel like day to day. I just try to learn from all of the incredible knowledge that's around me and the people around me and in the world around me.
Awesome. But tell everyone where we can find you at. someone wanted to reach out to you, is there a way they can reach out to you? How do they find you?
Yeah, actually, I talk to a lot of people on Instagram. I just talked to someone from India last night who had seen Two Broke Girls and wanted to talk about that. Super sweet. So I have an Instagram. It's at Meggy Davis, MEGGY DAVIS. My name is Megan, but my mom calls me Meggy, so that's why I did that.
Oh,
She
okay.
actually named me Megan so that she could call me Meggy, and I was like, why didn't you just name me that? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then IMDb, obviously, if you just type in Megan Davis, that's on there.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show,
Marilyn. How are you guys?
Hi, hello. Yes. Well, my name is Naya with Musicap, and this is my co-host. Sorry.
She don't know how to classify me. We're working on it, okay? We'll get us again, okay?
Well, it is nice to have you on the show. First off, we want to say that we have read up on you. You are very inspirational. We love your work. We love what you do. It is amazing just to interview you. You have so much stuff under your belt. First of all, why don't you tell us how you got into the music industry?
Okay. Thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate that. I have always, this was always my dream, and it was, I followed the path because I'm a first generation immigrant. So I followed the path, of course, of what my parents wanted. And of course, for a while, it was fulfilling enough, to be able to make them happy and all that. But, you get to a point where you realize that at the end of the day, anything that you don't love to do is, honestly, just a waste of time. I don't want to say a waste of time because, everything brings you to a certain point. But once you have that realization, after that, it's, you know what I mean? After that, it's a waste of time. But I got into the music industry just a couple of years ago officially. I've always written. I've always, sang around my room with a hairbrush. I feel like that's the typical little story. But I actually was auditioning for The Voice, and I found Red 13 Studios, and I just decided to go for it, and ended up meeting them, and there was a vibe, there was a calmness. That was where I was supposed to be, and it just kind of snowballed from there. They made me feel comfortable enough to open up, because that's part of it too,
Right.
some personal stuff and some emotions and all that. So it just kind of snowballed, and then we built this beautiful relationship, and then little by little I started to release music, and now here we are.
Yes, of course.
Merlin, man, I'm digging your single, that Cold Blue. I mean, oh my God, I listened to it. I said that right there is my jam.
Thank you.
I knew jam right there. The whole energy and the vibe that comes from that song, and just I'm a musician too as well, so I write and produce and stuff like that too as well. So I was in transit, okay. You took me there. I was like, man, she got a sound or something that I haven't heard in a long time.
It's different, and it's
very
awesome.
Refreshing. So what? I know you say you connected with them at the studio after The Voice. So when you actually started recording and laying down that vibe and laying down those ideas and kind of capturing that kind of emotion to be able to place it down on music, what you actually music you like more toward others, this particular album? Just tell me about how the concept of sound that you have and how it.
Okay. So Code Blue actually. So my writing process is a little here and a little there. So there are times that I sit down and I just free write, and then something comes out. And there are times where something just comes to my ear and it will not leave me alone until I get it into something. And that was actually the case for Code Blue. I remember I was actually going for a walk, and I heard the Code Blue, I just heard that in my ear, and I was like,
Gosh.
okay. And something I heard from someone before that really stuck with me is that lyrics that really mean something to you, that are really meant to be remembered, you just can't forget. So
Mhm.
it's funny because I didn't note it down right away. I like went on like a week and then just kept coming into my ear. And then finally I recorded it and then I started to write out the song. It was a little sadder when I first did it, like the chorus, instead of like a little snappy, like, you know what, if you're gonna break my heart, nope. It was a little sadder. And then when I brought it to the studio, they were like, okay, this good girl, bad girl, we love all that. That's great. But
Mhm.
that is so like up. And then this part is so sad. So we ended up changing like the chorus a little bit and playing around with it. And we ended up with with this fun vibe. And I mean, I feel like the words are they're a little heavier. The concept's a little heavier. So it was really nice to just put it into something that's very cheerful. And I love to dance. So I mean, it kind of
Yes.
goes hand in hand. But
Your- oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I didn't. What did you say? I
No,
didn't
no. I was like, in your music, it sounds as if you put some of your life journeys into your music. Now, I could be wrong, but am I right? Like some of your music, you really have felt, and you can put your own self into it, and that's what makes it easier for your audience to listen to it, to gasp, because they're like, okay, I feel her. You know what I'm saying? This is her journey. So was it like that, like putting your life story into it?
Definitely. And that's part of, especially as someone, I've always been a little bit more reserved. I've always, um, kept my emotions in check. And sometimes that's not always for not that you should be running around not doing that, but sometimes you need to express yourself. And yeah, I mean, I think, especially of where I'm at right now, I want, I always want to bring this into my music, but it's always going to be something that connects to me or my journey or something that I've known or felt some way, somehow. And I'm not saying that there are club songs, that they're amazing songs, like they're just amazing pieces of work. And I love that they make people move. But at the end of the day, if I can do that and have some truth to it, like that's my epitome. Like
Yeah.
that's where I want to be. And it was definitely personal experience and, experience of some of the women around me and just, you know, I feel like women have felt this way and other people, all people have felt this kind of like, I want to be, and the other thing is it's not, I mean, yes, I write it about women but it's specifically about being multidimensional. Like we have all these sides, we have all these emotions and picking one label or all that, like we're a little bit of everything and that's what makes up the beautiful concoctions of every person. So that was part of it too. And yeah, I'm really glad that came through because, when you're writing it on, I may understand that, but you don't know 100% until somebody else tells you or,
Right, right.
so thank you. I really appreciate it.
From your lyrics, from your song, that it comes from your heart and it's coming from life experience, and that's what makes it, like I said again, easy for everyone to listen to. We can comprehend. We can where you're from.
Thank you.
And across, I mean, like I said, the vibe, the whole production of it, I'm sitting there bobbing my head. I'm like, ooh, that's some transit right there. I'm like, you fit that up in there. I'm about to rewind that.
Right.
I love that. Part of in the studio with the production as well. I mean, the producers are incredible, and I always kind of give them like a couple of songs. I'm like, I like this little bit here and this little bit there, and let's see what fits into. But part of it also is that I'm Albanian, and I try to bring, like, I showed them Albanian music and I was like, this is what I like about Albanian music. And I was like, and obviously these are the type of artists and music that I like. And I want to do like some smorgasbord of all of that.
Oh, yes.
It's definitely in there. You hear it. I mean, you definitely hear it. I mean, I first heard like, wow, this is like some world pop / hip hop-ish kind of smooth R&B is all like in one. I was like, wow. It's, like I said, it's definitely something different. It definitely stands out. I mean, and I gravitated to it. It's like I'm like, wow. This is something I know that if I actually see it live, I'll be definitely off in the different world, and a different type of experience or different type of journey. There with you. Speaking about that, when are you going to possibly be able to do some type of live show, or maybe do some intimate settings type of thing. You know, yes, we still got COVID things going on still, but I know there's probably, you have something in the works or some plan to be able to, you know, catapult that music out there, because I want to be in the audience. Okay.
Makes me so happy. Thank you. I am definitely working on some stuff, like, and with the summer coming up, there's a plan for everything to open. So now I feel like people are like finally making plans, because it's been a little bit wishy-washy, like you said, with COVID and everything. So I've got some stuff in the works, and I'm also trying to get a set together, because there's an EP coming out towards the end of summer, and, you know, trying to work that all around, and some unreleased stuff, trying to play that in there too. I think it's just about, because I'm sure there's a lot of artists right now also trying to get some live stuff. So
Hello.
Good afternoon, AJ. How are you, sir?
Hi, James. Good afternoon. Or good
love
evening.
your,
from
I
my
love your
side.
background. You are fantastic there with the guitars and all the music stuff. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's my recording studio. I'm sitting in front of
Awesome.
my
Awesome.
studio.
Well,
Yeah,
we are back
that's sure.
live here on Musicap. AJ Mather with us today. He is amazing. And AJ, tell us a little bit about your background, my friend. You've got a pretty interesting background. Tell us about it here on Musicap.
Sure. I moved back to Switzerland, went to London again, and kicked Paris Row, and I'm back. So I'm of the places, and
Awesome. That's fan. It is a match with the day here, big program, and on Instagram.
lists right now on streaming platforms, especially on Spotify. So it's getting a lot of there's loads of this magazine, which is great. Which brings me to the which come out early November.
What are some of the different things that you have? If you're watching us, social media AJ Studio is you've got some guitars. Can I go over your studio here, my friend?
Yeah, sure. I've got a style grand piano, probably one of the best sounding. I've got a whole full guitars here in the studio. I'm pretty old, like I've got a 91 back there. A lot of stuff I did over the years making music. But every my good man cash to buy it.
AJ Mather was live here on our broadcast, singer-songwriter. Really feel good time. Got two catchy ups. A lot of these tracks, my friend, they're pretty amazing.
Yes, to me a lot during the shutdown, the coronavirus, being able to friends and for a long time, but you have a lot, you don't actually say, now is the things I need to see a positive song of as you like that, people don't.
That's correct. Today, here is the official website. AJ
that came, I met this host, he's started talking, and he said, happened the year before, and suddenly he knocked at the door. So we got together. We basically, again, song. I said, look, doesn't cruise or physically other help, and the so positive. So
and he joins us. You now,
right?
We come with AJ Mather. I know.
I wanna hold you on my side. I touch my soul. I'll never let you go. I need you now. So come and take my hand. I'm running out of control. Never let me go. Oh yeah. A celebration. I wish you all the best. Let's come together, bring love and happiness. I need you now, just like a little child. The way you touch my soul, I never let you go. Yeah, I need you now, so come and take my hand. I'm running out of control, but never let me go.
is AJ Mather, and he joins us here on Musicap this week. He is fantastic. We're going to go back to the Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney. AJ Mather is back with us. He's busily working in the studio as we speak on his next great project, and he's with us today here on Musicap. And so, AJ, you have been involved in music for a heck of a long time. From a scene like there.
Very long here.
That's awesome.
I'm glad. Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing, because there's a lot of places that would be very jealous of your music scene because they're not as healthy. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. It's.
You're right up with us today here via the magic old Skype Rooney, doing music and all these things.
I started playing the guitar shortly after I was like 15 or something.
Musicap. And you can join us each and every week here on 990 WBOB. Find us on about where you influences heroes, people like
has been highly influenced by Bob Dylan. I get influenced by people I found kind of shocked to see smiling faces, but that's how we are. We are humans. We like that. We like to be together and smile together. So it was really well received, I must say.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to place you on a brief hold here on Skype. We're going to go ahead and play this track. It is AJ Mather. It is. Let's come together on your home. Music.
Let's come together. Together. You and me. Feel our humanity. Let's come together. Come together. We still got time. You know we still got time. It is not the answer. Come on and put your hand in mine. I believe.
AJ Mather, let's come together. He joins us this week here on Musicap. Yes, Musicap. Your place for music. And we are going to go back live to AJ Mather. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. And AJ, you are just an amazing guy. Let's come together. We just heard that track. So what is your latest album and why should people go pick it up?
My latest album is going to come out next year, and why people should go pick it up, because it's a bundle of joy. That's why. it's positive. It's it's basically it's that moment of clarity which was missing in all these dark couple of months we've had, and that's why people should go pick up that album when it comes out. It's a really beautiful album, full of positive energy. Great music. I worked with so many great artists, and from different parts of the world, basically. And there are also some really fantastic videos which I've done to the songs. So that's gonna be a fun album to release.
We have got AJ Mather with us today. He joins us live, ajmather.com. So AJ, before we let you go, my friend, where can we find you on social media? Give us your website, all these things.
Yeah, it's ajaymathur.com, ajmather.com. And on social media, you can find me under the tag AJ Mather Music, AJAYMATHURMUSIC, yeah, music. Yeah, AJ Mather Music.
Look at that. AJ Mather with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. And AJ, thanks for doing this. Thanks for coming on Musicap. It's always a pleasure to get to chat with a great artist. Thanks for doing this, my friend.
Great pleasure. Thanks for having me, James.
Definitely. Have yourself a wonderful day, AJ.
Thanks.
Appreciate it,
Bye.
brother. There he goes. That's AJ Mather. And he joins us here on Musicap. And we will see you next week here on Musicap. Coming up here in a few moments, of course, the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. But we are going to do this. We're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, we've got more coming up on Musicap. Three, two.
You're listening to Talk Radio X.
Okay, brother. And hey, before an incredible new marketing partner with us today at Transmedia Worldwide. This is fantastic. Check out dollsrent.com. That's right, dollsrent.com. Robo-lovers. Sex dolls for rent in Cleveland, Ohio. It's going to get hot in Cleveland tonight with realistic TPE thermoplastic itomizer. Adult dolls for rent start at $99 for 2 hours. Absolutely realistic feeling. Dolls feel like a real girl. Robo lovers, for any of your desires. Look real, feel real, premium material, highest quality. They're local and they deliver your order same day and accept cash on delivery payments. You could check the doll before you take it and pay after check. All dolls are fully consistent with the photographs posted on the website. Also find them on Instagram at Dolls Rent. Also Twitter, Dolls Rent. Facebook.com/Dolls Rent. That's right, dollsrent.com. Real sex dolls in Cleveland. Get some sex tonight. Incredible new marketing partner with us today at Transmedia Worldwide. Dodecogram is a really good digital tool for connecting you to Christian content that is currently being financed via the crowdfunding platform Kickstarter. It doesn't just use a one-size-fits-all approach. It tailors the content to the different ways people connect to God. Search for Dodecogram on Kickstarter if you want to check it out. Incredible new marketing partner with us today at Transmedia Worldwide. An amazing, amazing new project. There's a great brand new footwear out there. It's called Jutes. It provides contemporary take on the traditional Indian jyoti for Indian-style weddings and nights out alike. While traditional jyotis aren't exactly designed for comfort, these shoes are comfy and look great. They're being funded via the crowdfunding platform Kickstarter and are well worth checking out. Search for Jutes Community Contemporary Footwear on there to find them. A fantastic brand new marketing partner comes to us at Transmedia Worldwide. It's a tremendous new GoFundMe campaign. We need you to go over and support GoFund.me/the letter F, the number 7, the number 2, the number 1, the letter E, the number 2, the number 4, and the letter C. They've been homeless by a handful and hateful misuse of the Minnesota legal system. They may have been kicked out of the Army as a result. The ex-fiancé, whom they lived with and own the childhood house with, said I was abusive to her. I've never harmed her, nor said I'd harm her. Her attorney took a few uncomfortable interactions, like arguments or a letter I sent with the basic training, and twisted them in court to look like abuse. This guy needs your help. He needs financial help right now. Give him some of your hard-earned money to go to the Court of Appeals and get representation for justice and to undo these wrongs. He knows in his heart an appeals things will be fixed because the district court that said he's abusive is very prejudiced against men in these cases. So if you could please help, go over to GoFundMe. Check out GoFund.me. Search this incredible, incredible campaign. This guy needs your help right now. Go to GoFund.me/F721E24C and tell them you heard about it here. Transmedia Worldwide. Give him some of your hard money today and help this guy out right now.
Porn stars, unsigned bands, pro wrestlers. You've come to the right place. The Jiggy Jaguar Experience. The Jiggy Jaguar Experience.
I think my favorite line is when he says, "Go It is the big broadcast. We are live. If I can get my button. We are live, coast to coast, border to border on iHeartRadio today. You can find us on AMFM247.com. Trying to get it figured out today, trying to get it going. Thanks for joining us. We are live, coast to coast, on 990 WBOB. And, of course, you can find us each and every day at JIGGYJHEUAR.com. Getting it in where we fit in, which, if you ask Jeeves, is almost nowhere. And we have got all sorts of different things happening today. LeBuck is going to be our first guest, hopefully. And then we have a couple other things going on. We have a guy who is going to call us from prison today. He is a musical artist. He is in prison. He is allowed to call us. He got an email somehow from us. You could get email in prison. And I told him, I said, well, when are you getting out? And he goes, it's not going to be for a while. Let's do this interview over the phone. They don't Skype in prison, but they allow phone calls to national radio shows. This should be very entertaining. So, our first guest is supposed to be LeBuck. He is a Danish electric artist. And he is going to join us, hopefully, here via the magic of the old Skip Skype. I don't have any information, though. So I'm not sure how the hell he's going to join us. I guess I could type in LeBuck on, The old skip Skype. See if it'll pull it up. I got Danny LeBuck. I got La Bouchier. I've got La Bushran 71 from Tournus, France, but I don't have a LeBuck. We don't have a LeBuck, so I think we're out of luck. So we are going to go to LeBuck. We are going to play some of his music. He has a brand new single. The season is over. And we are going to go to that here in just a few moments. It says I got to click on a link to download. What the hell, Bobby? Maybe I can get the link through this thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Click here to download. Open playlist, maybe. LeBuck, the season is over. Let's get him in here. Let's get this figured out, as they say. I don't know who's saying it. Don't know why they're saying it, but he is an electronic artist, so I would almost assume that he falls under the category of EDM. So LeBuck, the season is over. It's right now. That is LeBuck. here on our big broadcast. So we are going to attempt. Hopefully this is LeBuck. So we are going to go to the fantastic Skype. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Nice to meet you.
Yes. I'm assuming this is LeBuck.
You're correct.
Look at
It
that.
is. You reached Denmark.
I've reached Denmark. Holy smokes. Look at that. Who knew I was going to be able to get to Denmark today? That's amazing.
Just on a regular Sunday.
Just a regular Sunday. So this song, we just played it. The season is over. Tell us a little bit about this this track.
Yeah, we are moving into the fall, and it was kind of like this has been a weird couple of years actually, where we have been you can get a little bit melancholic at the end of the year, and especially with all this COVID going on.
Yes.
So trying to capture that in some music, we like to be a bit mellow here up in the Nordics. So that was kind of the idea behind the track.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's LeBuck. He joins us today. The season is over. It was written and recorded at the end of the summer in Denmark of 2021. The track has a laid-back feel, as you heard, but it also contains a bit of Scandinavian melancholy. Tell us a little bit about this. What the Scandinavian melancholy? Explain this to us.
Yeah, but it's a tricky one, you know. It gets when we get to the end of the year in Scandinavia and the Nordic countries. It gets dark very early, and we kind of get we try to we kind of miss the summer, you know. So we try to do all kind of cozy things. Maybe you have heard about the expression hygge.
Yes, I have, and I think that's amazing.
Okay, so we do have American friends, and they're just like, "This is awesome. We don't have a word for that in America. We gotta get this incorporated one way or another." But in order to fight this melancholy, because we start to miss the summer, we start to miss the sun, and it's dark all the time. It's raining, everything is dying. So it's kind of like we have all of this going on outside of ourselves. And then we try to kind of huddle up with some good food and some drinks and good friends, and then to fight the whole northern melancholic thing, we do some hygge.
Hey, hold on just a second. Can I give you a call back here in just a few moments?
Absolutely.
Okay. We are going to do this. We are going to go.
Dial 5 now. To block any you have a prepaid call. This call is from
Fred Beck.
an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7.
Okay, hold on. I think we've got our prisoner calling us. Hold on. I think we got our prisoner giving us a holla, 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 as they say. I don't know. We may have to go back to LeBuck. He is gonna... the prisoner. The prisoner gonna call us. Where's the prisoner at? There we are. Good afternoon.
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Fred Beck.
an inmate at a federal prison. Call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. Wish to block any...
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey,